Hey y'all, Moses here. In today's training room video, we're going to be taking a look at the new training map in PUBG. The training map is a tremendous tool for those players looking to sharpen their skills in almost all areas of the game. So we're going to be taking a look at how you can use this map to effectively increase your skills and win more games. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the new training map has just released for PUBG. In update number 21, there's a new weapon, a new mode, and a bunch of other changes, but I believe the biggest new feature added to PUBG is the training map. The training map is an area where you can jump in, grab every kind of weapon imaginable, and try and practice with it. There's shooting ranges all over the place. There's a driving range, a parachuting range. You can practice your grenades, your melee, anything imaginable in PUBG you can practice in the new training map. Now, this is something that a lot of players have wanted for a long period of time, but I think that now that it's been released, that there's a couple of misconceptions on how you should be using this map. So one thing that I've noticed a lot of players doing is jumping in, grabbing that level 3 gear, grabbing the M249, the AWM, the 15-time scope, getting super geared, and then running to the shooting ranges to try and hit moving targets at 900 meters. This, to me, is a bit of a waste of the potential of the training map, and that's something we're going to cover in just a few minutes. So just a bit of an overview. The map is created in a sense that you can jump in and not have to worry about dying or losing your vehicle or having any other permanent damage done while you're in the game. No one can die. You can't blow up any of the vehicles. You can't even shoot the tires off the vehicles. Everything is set in stone so that you can just use it as a playground and practice different areas of the game. Now, the one thing that I've noticed is that players like to run to the shooting range with their super kits and start shooting at targets that are super far away. There's nothing wrong with getting used to weapons that you're not familiar with, like the M249, the AWM, and all the crate weapons that you sometimes just don't have access to. Some players have gone their entire PUBG careers without using crate weapons at all due to their playstyles. So I completely understand that aspect, but there's one major part of the training room that I think is the best way to practice, and that is just simply engaging with the other players as they run around the map. Grab that 249 if you want, but practice your sprays on a moving target. Someone who's running around the map, doing their own thing, you can't really harm them, so you might as well practice long distance, short distance sprays on moving targets. You know, practice your peaks, running around, just play the game and act as if you're actually engaging these individuals like you would in a normal round. One of the major opportunities I see with most players is their recoil control, their peeking, and just their general movement. You can actually find that some other players will begin to play with you in the sense that if you'll be playing peekaboo with one player, they'll notice what you're doing and they'll start engaging you. This is tremendously good practice. This allows you real-world simulations where you can just, control recoil, practice those sprays, aim for the head, all that kind of stuff. So now, how can you turn what is effectively a free-for-all into something that is precision practice to improve and climb in the leaderboard? Now, the training mode is not going to help you win games aside from the engagements aspect. Movement and other map awareness aspects do not come in the training mode. That's something that you can only experience and learn just through sheer repetition and time in the game. One thing that I would recommend you do is practice your headshot sprays. So starting at mid-body and moving up to the head. It's something that's very important to learn because with the way that recoil normally works with these guns is that you'll have that first shot jump. So if you hit the first shot in the body, the second shot will be close to the head. And if you at that point are controlling your recoil, you should be able to hit that first shot to the body and then have a controlled spray in the upper head and neck region. That's something you want to start to practice a lot. That'll mean that your time to kill is reduced drastically due to the fact that you'll be hitting more headshots. That's something that I think that a lot of players kind of don't really worry about. They're just worried about getting shots on target rather than precision shots. The training map allows you to practice with things like the semi-auto rifles, the DMRs, all that kind of thing. I think the M16 is a great thing to practice with. You should really be practicing with all guns, and you should be doing the same thing. Try and hit that first shot to the upper body and then try and train the rest of your aim around the head. That way you have that first shot damage. You can put the player off of their aim. That's something that I think a lot of players lose when they're going only for headshots. You have to assume that the player is going to be aiming back at you. If you hit that first shot, they're going to hit a little bit of an aim punch. They're going to miss their shots. And if you're already looking to follow up to the head, they'll be dead before they even know what's happening. This is the way you want to practice. Always try and get it so you're peeking around corners, peeking off angle, peeking off of awkward objects, through items. I like to stand on one side of the training map and shoot through the melee practice area into those trying to grab gear. It'll allow you to try and shoot moving targets. You can practice with DMRs. There's just so many great ways to practice real-world situations in the training map that people just seem to ignore. There's nothing wrong with going to the shooting ranges and trying to hit those moving targets with sniper rifles, but they're not life-size targets. They're not really behaving how players do. There's nothing better than practicing on a real-life target. So get out there, use the training map to the best of your ability, and what I like to do is kind of go through a routine, which I'll outline for you now. So depending on what weapons I use, I try and choose weapons with ammo synergy. So let's say an M4 and the Mini, or right now, because it's the newest weapons out and I haven't had a lot of time to practice with them, I like to grab the MK47, the Mutant, and the Barrel. And that way I'll just run around with only 7.62. I don't even grab a helmet because people are going to shoot them off you anyway. Just grab a backpack, fill it up with ammo, and just practice your sprays. Get through about 500 rounds of ammo for both weapons, and you'll be in a situation where you're completely warmed up. And that's one other thing I'd like to mention as well, is how to use the training map to both warm up and also reset if you're tilted. This happens to me all the time, believe it or not. If you watch my streams over on twitch.tv/WTFMoses, you'll know that I sometimes get mad at the game. Now with the training map in the game now, I love to be able to just jump out of the game, go back to the training map if I'm having rough rounds, practice a couple of sprays, get reset, relax, and then jump back into a regular round. I would recommend you do the same thing. Jump in, practice before you start playing, and if you're having rough games, go back to the training map, play a couple more rounds, and then move on. Thanks for taking the time to watch this training room video. If it was helpful to you, leave a like. And if you want more content like this in the future, subscribe to this channel, and you'll be notified of any new upcoming training room videos. Thanks again, and until next time, I'll see you out there.